I welcome you all to next session of our information system and security audit. We are currently revising our same three subject of cloud computing. Today, we are going to discuss regarding para-virtualization and virtualization concept. Let me share the screen with you. I hope the screen is visible to all of you. Please mark your attendance at the chat box with your name and roll number. Up to the last session, we have discussed the various fundamentals of the cloud computing and other details like the delivery model, public, private, and community cloud, etc. Then some of the concept of like SaaS means software as a service, platform as a service, and infra as a service. Today we are going to revisit what do you mean by the virtualization concept. Remember, virtualization is not a core concept of the cloud computing. Means virtualization itself, we can't term it as a full cloud computing concept or terminology. It's a one part of the you can say the cloud computing, like the virtual machine is there or virtual machine monitor. That's you can say the VMMs are there, and they are being utilized for the purpose of cloud computing. It's not fully a cloud computing. That's why it is said that you might have gone through the one of our guest lecture took by Honorable Patil sir from ESDS, that Pratik Patil sir from ESDS, that he told that the virtualization is the basic concept of the what we say you can do the multiple multiplication of the resources, okay, and you are making them available for the number of stakeholders. That is nothing but the virtualization, and it's a one kind of the cloud computing concept. Okay, it's not a fully cloud computing. Let's begin with that. And what do you mean by the virtualization? That transform hardware into the software that allows you to run multiple OS as virtual machine. Okay, means the underlying is a one OS. Each copy of an OS is installed into virtual machine. Means it's not a simulation or emulation. Okay, means it's just a making multiple copies of the singular underlying OS or underlying resources using the concept called as a VMware or virtual machine. That is nothing but the virtualization concept. Okay, how does the virtualization works? Virtualization layer is installed like a VMware is installed. It uses either or the bare metal hypervisor architecture, and it's been done. Okay, means by hosting or by using bare metal hypervisor, it's been done. Okay, while we have took this concept in the month of September, October, we have taken one example in our day-to-day life, that what how do you have the virtualization. Okay, you just remember recall that session. It's already available on my YouTube channel also. You can go through. That is virtualization. There are two types of the virtualization. One is the host operating. That's the mean there will be the host OS, and on that there will be the VMware server, and then actually the OS and apps for per VMware, or that is virtual machine, are installed onto the computer. That is underlying hardware, then the host OS like Windows or Linux, anyone, and then actually the VMware will be there. That's the host type of the virtualization. Virtualization has the second type, that is the, you can say the bare metal virtualization, or using directly the hypervisor. Okay, means the bare metal hypervisor system does not require an OS. There might be a may not be a OS directly. Okay, you are directly working on it. Okay, that is nothing but the virtualization using the bare metal or type 1 virtualization. Then what do you mean by the virtual machine itself? Okay, जैसे हमने यहाँ पे देखा कि there is one virtual machine including a OS and apps. OS means the OS of that particular VM, and apps mean the apps installed for the utilization by the stakeholders like the end user on that particular VM. From the user perspective, the VM is a software platform that like a physical computer runs on the OS system application. But with respect to the hypervisor perspective, VM is a discrete set of files considering consisting of the configuration file, disk file, virtual disk file, NVRAM, that's RAM settings are there, and log file. Means whatever the log are there, that is nothing but the virtual machine for you. Then these are the two types of physical machine, difficult to move, copy. You can have the means why there is a need of VM. Okay, ensure जैसे हमारे तो सब फिजिकल मशीन्स वगैरह अवेलेबल है, then why there is a need of VM as such. So because there are many, it's easy to move and copy, encapsulated into the file, independent of the physical hardware, easy to manage and provide supports to the everyone. That's some kind of the VMs available, or why the VM is important over the physical machine. That is the basics of the VM. Now we will move toward the advanced part of the virtualization, means types of virtualization like para virtualization and other. Let me share that PPT with you. I hope the screen is on and audio and video is okay with you. It's being visible. In case of any problem, please let me know through the chat box, and please uh, follow the instructions that are given on the Google Classroom regarding the attendance on the online sessions and attendance at the exam given by the Honorable HOD ma'am and Director ma'am. Whatever the attendance, it has to be followed very precisely, and it is for the benefit, academic benefit, and overall benefit of your student community. Okay, now we will see the advanced virtualization concept like para virtualization and others. Let me share the slide and move further. We have discussed right now that what do you mean by the virtualization, basics of the virtualization, what we can virtualize, like the virtual system that accesses can have the primary system such as the RAM, ROM, storage, CPU, network, all such kind of resources can be virtualized, and that is nothing but virtualization for you. That's a process of creating virtual platform with the aid of virtualization software. That is nothing but the VM machine, VM monitors, and VMwares. Okay, hypervisors. These are the virtualization softwares. Okay. Now the normal computer system looks like this. That's there is a OS, host OS. Underlying is the one particular kind of the hardware. Hardware is nothing but any, not only the hard disk, but it may consist any type of the hardware resource. That might be any network card, NIC card, memory slots, and any other resource in terms of hardware. Then OS like the Windows or Linux or any other OS, and on that applications like MS Office or Zoom or any other user-defined customized applications are there. Now, how the virtualization will work, or what do you mean by virtualization? Means one server for the multiple operations or multiple operating systems and applications. Okay. Now, as shown in the diagram, you can have the virtualization possible. Okay, using hypervisor like concept, wherein you can have the particularly the multiplication of the resources in a virtual mode possible. Now the types of operating system, there can be the host operating system as we have seen in this particular, this is a host operating system, and these are the, you can say the guest operating system. Guest means जो आपके VM machine में होती है, that is a guest operating system. But remember, host operating system may or may not be there. Okay, such a kind of MCQ will be asked. Told the host operating system is optional or not mandatory in the virtualization, true or false, then you should be able to answer back that it's a true statement, because there might be a virtualization or type 1 virtualization or type 1 hypervisor like the bare metal, wherein there is no need of the host operating system. That's why the statement is true, that there is no need, or the it's not mandatory to have the host operating system, whereas guest operating system it is mandatory, because per VM machine there will be the operating system. Okay, now per VM machine that might be the same one or that may not be the same one. Okay, please be on the time. Now we are almost on the verge of finishing the sessions. That is the types of the host operating system. That's a host operating system that actually run on the hardware itself. It is not mandatory to have the host operating system and the guest operating system like a virtual box or VMware. These are the examples of the simulated environment. Okay, these are the examples of the simulated environment, and they are the actually running on the VM machine. Please mark your attendance. Now, these are the virtualization techniques. Okay, you can have the para virtualization, you can have the full virtualization, and you can have the OS level virtualization. We will see what they mean by all these three. Particularly when you are talking about the virtualization. Sorry, wait for 1 minute. Sorry for interruption. Okay, when we are talking about the virtualization as a concept, actually, we are talking about the making multiple copies of the whatever the underlying resources are there with the host. Okay, that is nothing but the virtualization. Means you may have the multiple copies of the network NIC cards. You may have the multiple copies of the what we say the suppose the memory cards or RAM ROM like memory slots and the hard disk or any other resource like that. The dual boot machine, as I have told you at the beginning of session, that in the month of September and October we have discussed this concept up to the depth. Now these are being the very revision sessions. We are not going up to that. You just recall that reboot machine as one of the example. Rebooting, sorry, multiple boot machine means dual systems, dual operating system or more than one operating system. Therein we are using the virtualization concept. Okay, that is you may term it as a OS level virtualization. Now, what do you mean by the para-virtualization? It's an approach that's a little different, and unlike others, full virtualization are aware, guest servers are aware of the one another. Okay, that's a para means only one kind of virtualization where are some of the resources are virtualized and some are not virtualized. Okay, that's why it is called as a para virtualization. As like we are calling the Olympic and para Olympic. Para Olympic they have their own other sets of the norms, and that's why it is called as a para Olympic. It's been organized particularly for the Divyang Vyaktis, and it's like a means it's not a full Olympic. Okay, that's why in this case also it's not a full virtualization. Means you are not virtualizing all the things. You are virtualizing some of the resources, not all the resources which are required by the user that are being virtualized only, and that's why it is called as a para virtualization, and it doesn't need as much processing power to manage the guest operating system. Okay, that's a concept of the para virtualization for you. Now, what do you mean is a full virtualization? It's a one kind of the hypervisor software, and that interacts directly with the physical server CPU and disk space. Okay, that it serves as a platform for the virtual server's operating system. That is not nothing but a full virtualization. Means you are virtualizing everything, right from the host operating system to the guest operating system, whatever the underlying hardware resources are there, network resources are there, memory resources are there, they all being virtualized. Okay, that's why it is called as a full virtualization. Then what do you mean by the OS level virtualization? 1 minute. Let me take. Sorry for interruption. That's the OS level virtualization that doesn't use the hypervisor at all. Okay, that OS been virtualized itself. That's why there is no need of hypervisor. Okay, as like the dual boot machine. Are we using any hypervisor for the dual boot machine like Windows and Linux? No, we are using both directly, Windows and Linux. That's why it's a OS level virtualization which does not need any hypervisor. Instead, it's a capability of the host OS which perform all the function. Means in a virtualized hypervisor, it's having all the things. Okay. This is a full virtualization, para virtualization, and hardware assisted virtualization architectural comparison for you. Remember, all these PPTs are already being available on your Google Classroom. I again and again request you to please practice as many as 50 odd MCQ daily for each subject, because your university exam is going to start by the 10 to 15 of the April, and you should be able, if you are facing the MCQ online exam which is there of 50 MCQs in a 1 hour 60 minute allotted time, then you should be able to face prepared for the as many as minimum 500 plus MCQs. Okay, that's the architectural comparison for you for the all types of virtualization. Types of virtualization, again we can have the your resource wise virtualization types. Resource wise means what kind of resources you are virtualizing. Are you virtualizing the resources like servers? Then it's a server virtualization. Desktop if you are virtualizing the some network resources, then it will be the network and the storage virtualization in case of the multiplication or virtualization of the storage resources. Okay, this is the details of the server and hardware virtualization for you. Then desktop virtualization, like you're virtualizing work from anywhere concept, then it's called as a desktop virtualization. As like there are the softwares nowadays, that's a TeamViewer. You might have heard this name, TeamViewer, wherein you're taking the remote access and remote control of the any other PC by accessing its IP address. Okay, that is the TeamViewer application, and it is like a concept of work from anywhere. That is a desktop virtualization for you. Network virtualization is nothing but virtually pulling and managing all the network resources like NICs, virtual LANs, IPs, switches, all means whatever the network resources, hardware, including software resources are there. IP is a software resource. Remember, IP address you are managing through the software. That is nothing but the network virtualization. Storage virtualization is nothing but the pulling the physical resources for that purpose, and for that purpose they are using the storage area network. Hypervisor concept is there. That's a hypervisor are also known as the virtual machines monitor, and it's a process that creates and runs a virtual machine. These are the two types of hypervisor, type 1 and type 2, hosted and bare metal. Then Zen, these are some of the company product or company branded hypervisor like Zen. We have discussed Zen in detail in last session. Microsoft Hyper-V also we have discussed during the month of September, October, November, and that's a system is thin and the hypervisor had direct access to the hardware. These are the type 1 hypervisor like this, and type 2 hypervisors, that's a graphical representation of the type 1 hypervisor. Type 2 hypervisors are like hosted hypervisor super, and they are being used like for example virtual boxes there or VMware workstations are there. This is the graphical representation of the type 2 hypervisor wherein there is a underlying operating system of the host. यहाँ पे underlying operating system है क्या host की? Type 1 में there is not a underlying operating system of the host, but type 2 hypervisor there is a operating system of the host. Okay, where on which hypervisor level is there, and then guest OS are there. That is nothing but with respect to the hypervisor. Okay, today we are concluding the session at this point only. As per our schedule, we are going to be have the sessions again, and let me see the timetable. It is assumed that you are practicing your MCQs. If you are not practicing, please again and again I am telling you to please practice your MCQs. Okay, that is the now we are going to meet on the Tuesday directly. Okay, at that time 8 a.m. we are again we will take the revision of the cloud till your concurrent exam is going on of the same core. We will continue with the revision of the same three subjects so that you will be able to prepare and face prepared for your university exam and face them very efficiently. Okay. With this, I conclude the session. Thank you very much. I hope you all of you mark your attendance. Let me see. Yes. Thank you for your kind listening, and please be serious about your examination. Okay. That 27th March event, online symposium, national symposium on Indian economy, it will be a mandatory attendance for all of you, and it will be attached. It is attendance marks are attached to the concurrent evaluation of the open subject. So please be careful to attend that. It will be on the 9:45 a.m. 27 March 2021. and the link will be shared with you with the credential of the Zoom very soon by the today evening. Please share this instruction with all of your classmates and ask them to take most or you also that to take the most benefit of such a good activity. The eminent personalities like RBI Director Dr. Honorable Dr. Ashutosh Raravikar, then the FICCI Executive Secretary, then the Textile Association's National President, the one faculty from IIT Mumbai, Dr. Vardraj Bapat, Dr. Dilip Shenoy, Dr. V.M. Goilkar sir from Nasi Eminent Economics. All such personalities are participating in this national symposium, and it's our duty if they are allotting their time for the benefit of our institute and ultimately the benefit of the student. It's our duty to present without fail, to attend without fail. Okay, that are the some instruction for you. Wish you all the best for your ongoing concurrent exam, and please be prepared for your university exams also. With this, I conclude the session. Thank you very much.